tell me, guys, do the Lakers need to make any other changes to make a deep playoff run, championship run, should I say, this year?
You know, when you got LeBron James on your team, man, you always got a shot. And the other night, coming part of that 4-game winning streak, you saw how they were able to handle the Golden State Warriors, who are not really in the mix at this point as far as making the playoffs. They're in the fifth spot. You got to be careful when you try to add something, because that means you also have to give up something. And what are you giving up to get? Like, is it truly going to make the team better? A healthy Anthony Davis and a determined LeBron James still have what it takes to make it to the Western Conference Finals. Whether they can get out of that, who knows? But they're still very relevant and credible. I don't know, Chico, what they're missing that would get them over the hump as far as the best of the best in the West, and what they would have to give up to get it. Because even if you give up something right now to a better player on paper, the whole chemistry factor kicks in, post All-Star break, when you're already sitting at fifth spot. Like I said, man, you got LeBron James, a determined LeBron James, and a healthy Anthony Davis. You really can never rule that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me update that. 26-19 now, of course, after the loss tonight.
Yeah, well, you look at where the Lakers are right now. Do they have enough? I just don't think, like, as far as to knock out the top tier teams in the West. I don't see them coming out of the West as the team is currently constructed. And two, I think that they've given up so much in the past to try to make this current iteration work. That I think if LeBron wants another championship, like, literally, he needs time to let. Like, I think you got the guy. I think you've, got Reeves, you got Dr. Connect. Like, you basically got guys that you're waiting on to become that third guy, that guy who scares you in the playoffs. And that term rotates, right? Or who that person is, that identity rotates on the Lakers. You see them make a move, they get rid of D'Angelo Russell, you bring in Dorian Finney-Smith, who's more of a role player. Like, so right now, your 40-point scorer when it comes to the Lakers, LeBron, the way he takes over a game isn't the way he took over a game in his 20s. Right now, the game has to come to him in a way where everything's flowing and he'll get his. But it's not the same LeBron as it was years and years ago. Right now, the guy to take over the game for you is an Anthony Davis. LeBron James is probably the best facilitator in the NBA, but to take over a game in the playoffs, like a Luka, like a Anthony Edwards, like a SGA, that guy's no longer LeBron James, and I think that's what they're missing. That, they've got three guys who are scoring damn near 20 points a game when you count Austin Reeves at 18. But is it enough? Right now, you're the 15 in the playoffs in the West. As currently constructed, I feel like they can get hot. They can get a series or two, but I just don't think when they get to nut cutting time, they're going to be the team that comes out of the West.
I agree that, dude. I don't see them coming out of the West. I see them being competitive. I think they can even be more competitive than the fifth seed. But the Nuggets are in front of them. You got Memphis back at full strength with Ja Morant ahead of them. There's some teams that just give them matchup problems. And you put a perfect bow tie on what I was trying to say, is that I think the issue is time together, not just keep replacing players. That this Laker roster right now is a better team next year than they are if you trade for somebody right now and hit the reset button. Like, at some point, you got to have time for this stuff to marinate, like we say in West Jackson. Put that thing on simmer, let it come together in the pot, and stop messing up the damn ingredients by adding something each time. Let these guys play ball long enough together and figure it out. Because we look here, LeBron gonna play 2 or 3 more years. Like, this is not the last year, and so all you need to worry about is keep Davis healthy, keep LeBron determined with a chance through the draft and other free agent means. Not necessarily right now bringing somebody else, but I think now it's time to just let cook what you have, because it's proven it can work. You're in the mix right now. This time last year, you weren't.
Yeah.
So, hey, man,
I mean, I'll tell you what. They got a Hail Mary.
What's the Hail Mary?
Man, you can go get a Trae Young.
Trae Young, you think that'll be an answer? Trae Young?
Yeah, like
an offensive guard, another ball dominant guy who is not really going to play a lot of defense, who's going to be a liability on the defensive end. How are you going to do it? You already got Austin Reeves as a facilitator. LeBron James averaging 9 assists You know, as you said, he's the greatest facilitator you can have. Why bring a guy like Trae Young? You know, what is he going to bring that the Lakers, you know, that's going to help them deep down in the playoffs?
He can give you 50 on any night.
So you think they need another scorer?
They need a guy who
can take over.
They need a guy who can take over outside on the perimeter. A guy who says, you know what, I'm hot. There's nobody. It don't matter who's guarding me. I'm gonna get 50 again. It don't matter who you put in front of me. You need a guy who can say, okay, who do you have to scheme for outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis? You don't have to scheme for if Austin Reeves go off, then so be it. Great game, Austin. But if Trae Young goes off, there's nothing you can do. Like literally. Now defensively, Quinn Snyder's brought some. He's brought a better version of Trae out than we've seen previously. And Dyson Daniels, like, you know, these my hometown Hawks. So Dyson Daniels, who they got in the trade for Dejounte Murray, has literally he's in the running as a two guard for Defensive Player of the Year. But when you think about the Lakers, every year Trae Young is a name that's floated. And I said maybe this is the year. The Hawks are looking at, you know, they're in a mix where Trae Young is a younger he's an older young guy. But you literally have a new nucleus of Jalen Johnson, who's showing that he can be a star. You had last year's #1 pick, Zachary Reese-Shea, and you got Dyson Daniels. Do you go ahead and do you bring in a guy like Dalton? Do you say, okay, maybe Dalton Connect has the type of potential where he's a little younger. You bring him over, add him to the mix. You bring and you take the picks that you do have that the Lakers are able to say, you know what, we'll rebuild the cachet that we lost from the 3 first-round picks in the Dejounte Murray trade. And, you know, we let Trae Young get an opportunity he's done so much for the city. Let's let him get an opportunity to win the championship. I think that trade actually does swing. I think it does, even if it doesn't swing power in the West, it makes people pay attention to the Lakers on a deeper level because now imagine, like, if LeBron can bring the ball down and say, all right, cool, Trae, do your thing. And you just say Trae, and you send Trae to the wing, send him to the logo, because that's where he shoots it from, and say, get busy, and you don't have to worry about it because me and Anthony Davis going to go rebound. I think it could be a beautiful thing, and I like Trae Young. I hope he doesn't get traded, but to answer the question about someone who I think that's a feasible trade for the Lakers that they can make to get to that championship level, I think Trae Young is your guy.
If I'm the Lakers, I would have to take a package with that. I need Clint Capella. I need a big man. You're talking about rebounding. I need another guy that's going to bring some. I need a dirty garbage man, garbage pail carrying type guy that's going to go out there and get the rebound, junkyard dog, and that's what Clint Capella can do. Pretty much a career double guy. They don't need him in Atlanta anymore. They're going for the youth movement, as you said. If we're going to give up Dalton Connect, who LeBron loves, and he vouched for to be drafted, you know, he'll go back down to the South. He went to school at Tennessee. I think we will have to have a guy like Clint Capella to go along with Trae Young, and I think you might have a trade right there.
You know what the problem is with Lakers fans? Both y'all Lakers fans?
We want too much.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Man, Lakers fans overvalue everything they got.
So what's overvalued?
Everything except for LeBron. Lakers fans, man.
Blasphemous. It's your boy Stephen A. was saying.
Everything, man. Like, hey, man, I'm already giving you Trae Young for the Hawks. Now like,
y'all don't want Clint Capella in that contract. Y'all might as well give up the big man in the contract and move on from him. Or you can give us the other the backup, the young guy who went to USC, who plays for Atlanta. What's his name? Okongwu. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna throw you a bone on this one, Chico. You really called it right because they just sat Okongwu. They just sat Clint Capella last week.
They want to go for the youth movement.
Yep. They're going to the youth movement. So, but y'all got to find somebody else to help. Cause it just can't be Dalton Connect. We'll give you Clint Capella and Trae Young. I mean, come on now.
You said the picks, and then we'll throw in a couple veterans for the contract.
36 picks, man. Man, by the time them picks can vacate, the Lakers trade all their picks every year. Every year they trade.
Trae Young is what? He 26, 27. Dalton Connect come in. He 18 years old, man. 12 years old. Still got Similac on his breath.
Dalton Connect by 24. For real.
He can ball. And he can ball. He'll come in. But you know what? Y'all have the Hawks have a log jam at the forward position. They just drafted the #1 pick. You got Hunter, who came from Virginia. You have Johnson right there at the forward spot. Y'all might as well give up one of them too. Let us take one of them too, man, and build us a championship spot out there.
Let me say this to y'all. Because y'all ain't gonna come to no deal with the Hawks and the Lakers with y'all negotiating. Y'all about like Rick George and Coach Prime. Like ain't nobody blinking.
Oh damn!
He ain't going nowhere.